Take one.
The Leadville 100 is a 100-mile foot race that starts and ends in smack center downtown Leadville, Colorado at 10,200 feet.
So over Hageman Pass, over Hope Pass, and it's a 50-mile out and back. So you see the first 50 miles going out, turn around, and you come on back and try and hold on as best you can.
Leadville has been around for decades. It has this allure about it, especially coming from this almost defunct mining town, right? Like Leadville was about to essentially cease to exist. The race directors who started Leadville knew like a push in some economic, sustainable avenue for the town would be a good idea, not to mention it's a sick place to run 100 miles.
It is an endurance challenge. We used to refer to it as the common man's not so common challenge. If you believe in you, we believe in you. We want you to come out here, test your mettle, your grit, your guts, and your determination. We think we have the place for you, but you gotta believe in you first.
I think the 100-mile distance has become the only relevant distance in the sport. All the other stuff isn't respected as much in terms of like a results resume, and or is seen as a stepping stone to like a training race building towards some goal 100-mile race.
My friend Grant made me this cool belt too. It's sort of like, it's an obnoxious belt buckle. I've worn it once to a University of Wyoming, Oklahoma State wrestling match up in Laramie. I went in the 2021 race with the goal time of 17 hours. Winning the race wasn't really a goal. I mean, it's hard to know if the longest I had raced before that was 50 miles, and obviously it's a big jump, and some people respond to the distance and some people don't. So I sort of had 17 hours in the back of my head, which is usually good for a top 3 finish. I was just feeling pretty good, and right at about halfway, I took the lead. I sort of was flushed with emotion, just like, holy crap, I'm leading the Leadville 100.
What do we got, Dave? 3 miles? 3.5 miles? Something like that. 2.5.
Started thinking, well, if I've gone out too fast, I'm gonna blow up, and if I haven't, I'm gonna just go on and win the race. So it was sort of, it's like I'm all in now. I have to try and win this.
All right, Adrian. Welcome back to Leadville, baby!
wasn't since I was in middle school that I'd ever really dreamed of being a professional athlete. And then winning Leadville, it sort of opened that back up. So I hired an agent and got a couple sponsors on in Ultimate Direction. I sort of like have this new sort of layer of support. I've been thinking about defending my title since I won last summer. I don't know, I've thought a bit about the course record. A lot of people have asked me about it too, which is 1542, and it's been around almost 20 years. And I've decided that I'll make that decision at halfway. Competition makes you dig deeper and it helps you achieve things that you never thought possible, that you didn't think your body could do. Last year at Leadville, it was the same thing. I was just like, well, I can't believe my body just did that. And I want that feeling again. Tuesday morning, Leadville's on Saturday, and I just did 11 miles total. The middle 5 miles were 60 seconds hard, 60 seconds float. So the hard was like maybe about 5:20 pace, and the float was around 6-minute pace. I know I'm really fit, but it is a long way. I don't know, and I think the nerves are good.
So weather-wise, y'all, listen. We don't foresee any need to have to call anything off, but it's going to be cold at some points. So please be prepared for that.
The mental side of ultra running is probably like 90% of it. You know, assuming you're healthy and fit, the mental component of Leadville, or any 100 for that matter, is the vast majority of the race.
There are so many reasons to quit all day long. And those reasons only become more attractive the deeper you get into the race. For any 100-mile race, it's mandatory that the runner stands on the starting line with 100% conviction that they'll finish. If a runner doesn't have that on the start line, it's not gonna happen.
They were just asking if I was going to win again. And I said I'm trying.
Everybody is your famous first lady of the race. Good morning, Leadville family! Thanks for being part of the 39th race across the sky. Run safe, run smart. We'll be waiting here for you at the finish. Dig deep.
Okay, sons and daughters, remember you're better than you think you are, you can do more than you think you can, so dig deep, and if you need one word to keep you going, remember Leadville.
We started at 4 a.m. It was interesting, I think, because I won last year, people were expecting me to dictate the race. No one sort of ran away. Like last year, a bunch of people went out fast and I sort of just let them go. And this time we were sort of running around Turquoise Lake and one of the other runners was like, hey, Adrian, I thought you were going to try and break the course record. What are you doing running back here with us? Eventually, like going into the first aid station at May Queen, I realized that I was slower than I was last year. So then maybe at about 10 or 11 miles, I took off.
That is definitely him.
400 down there.
Yeah, that's definitely him. Yeah.
So I got into Outward Bound, which is about 25 miles in, I had like remembered my splits from last year. And so I was like kind of panicked that I had maybe had my splits wrong and that I had gone out too hard. But I was still behind what I had done last year.
We're a couple of people like going for the record though last year.
Yeah, also like I wonder if the field is different and if people saw his time from last year and it's like, okay, like I'm just gonna let that guy go. Like I don't want to follow that. Which is, I mean, yeah, makes sense. I'm the crew chief.
Sir?
Doing the tour of Denmark and feeding Adrian. It's a very important job. That was a nightmare I had 3 nights ago. In the nightmare, I woke up, day of, was late, had to drive over the morning of, and then got thrown into a pacing leg, completely unprepared, and I messed everything up. So far we're doing a lot better than that.
So then after that, I started to pick up the pace because I wanted to hit Winfield in 7:40. From Outward Bound to Twin Lakes, I was running pretty hard.
So Matt's course record at Leadville, that was a paradigm-shifting performance in the sport in 2005. The sport was in a much different place, and he broke the course record there by an hour and a half. It's absurd. It's like blasting off into space. It's completely exploratory. You have nothing to base your effort off of. It's so hard to be the first at anything like that. So Matt's record at Leadville was a big deal, I think.
Yeah, so the crowd, you don't really have much of it. Mostly you're out there by yourself. The first climb up Hope Pass was pretty good. I felt like I was moving pretty well. And then on the descent, it's sort of steep, so I didn't feel great there. And then after you get off the descent, there's this rolling trail into Winfield, and I felt really terrible there. I was not moving very well, and I started to get worried. So at that point, I was like, I hate this. I don't want to be doing this. I don't ever want to do it again. And then it wasn't until I got to Winfield, turned around, and then I started seeing all the other competitors, and I sort of remembered that it was a race again. And I saw Tyler, who was in second, and he looked pretty good. I'm like, oh, this is a race.
What just happened?
Adrian came through and he's still in first place. And the second place person hasn't come through yet. So exciting.
We need gels. Okay, we need gels. Peanut butter and jelly wrap.
Yeah, we got the jelly wrap, we got gels.
Thanks, officer.
I had been running alone for, what would that be, 50 miles. So it was nice to have company. But then he twisted his ankle. And I thought I was going to have to grab the pack back and leave him.
Shit. I rolled my ankle coming off of the Colorado Trail. Just like probably a quarter mile before we got off of it. I feel like I've got a golf ball in my ankle.
I got 2 flasks in here. Okay, then you're good to go.
The other one. Dude, he's doing great.
Okay, let's get an extra water right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to stop for anything, or you want to just keep going? Okay, let's go.
How far back was Tyler?
Don't worry about Tyler. He's like 50. And how far is it? 3 miles from half pipe to here?
What is that? Yeah, about 3 miles. A little over 3 miles.
Course record is
right in reach.
It's on.
Yeah.
Ooh, let's go.
I think I've said that last year it was easy, the whole race, and I was expecting it to be easy, and I think I forgot about how hard Hope Pass the second time and Powerline is.
It's hard to describe. Like, it's so simple in many ways. You know, you can drive 100 miles in your car. You can look at 100 miles on a map. I think there's something really beautiful and aesthetic about knowing my body has gotten me from point A to point B.
Every time you line up, you know, to race 50 miles or 100 miles or 100K, you're going to be confronted with your inadequacies and frailties as a human at some point, if you're doing it right, if you're trying your hardest. And that's when you get to decide, are you going to step up and overcome the adversity, or you know, lay down, you know? And that moment of truth that's the appeal, because then you get to prove to yourself that you're strong enough.
This Leadville experience will definitely change your life, whether you're a participant, an athlete, a crew, a son, daughter, brother, or sister, and you come out here, you test yourself, you get sleep deprived, you get behind on calories, you can't move anymore, your body starts to freeze up, your head hurts, your lungs feel like they're gonna explode, and you find a way. If you do what we ask you to do and you commit and you keep stepping forward, by the time you get to that finish line, you barely realize you're there. You're starting to culminate that you're going to cross that line, and it changes your life.
Yeah, last year was so special because it was so unexpected. I had no expectations of winning, and then I went out and won, and it was sort of a perfect day. Yesterday was a bit more of a struggle.
And doing it again, 2 years in a row, your winner, going faster than he did last year. His time, 16:05:44. Your winner from Fort Collins, Colorado, Adrian Macdonald.
Last year I had the 5th fastest time, and now I have the 3rd. And the 2 runners that are faster than me are like some of the all-time greats, so I think I'm in good company.
Congrats. Thank you.
Oh, here comes this one.
Yeah, congrats to you.
There's some doubts going in, like, was last year was I just like a one-hit wonder? So it's good to sort of prove that like I do belong where I think I belong.